Hey, welcome back. I had this idea randomly pop into my head one day. I have one of those train of thoughts that starts at like point A and then ends at point Z, right? So like I start thinking about turtles and I'll end up on astrology or something like that. So what does that have to do with this video? Well, I'll tell you. This idea had many forms, but after some refining, this is what it ended up being. Basically, the concept behind it is I'm playing Pokemon, but I have no idea where I'm going next. So how this works is I picked one game for each region, 1 through 7, and then took each gym town from that gen and put them into a table, right? I then took that table and randomized all the gym towns. So for example, normally the number 1 would be the first Kanto gym, but after randomizing, the number 1 is now actually the first Kalos gym. If that doesn't make sense, bear with me. I promise you it's actually super simple and you'll understand it a bit more once we actually jump into it. So what I did from this point on is I had to collect the numbers associated with the regions and generations I'd be playing through. So for that, I enlisted the help of my friends and even you guys without you knowing it. So I needed 8 numbers for the badges, which I got 6 of from my friends.
4. What? That was my number.
No, I want to change to 7.
3.
7. Purple Fire 99.
6.
4.
Why does Toad look like that?
And then 2 from my Discord, which you should join for future videos, by the way. So we've got most of our numbers now. Speaking of numbers, let's try and hit 3,000 likes on this one, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss an upload. We just hit 75k, and my goal for the year of 100k is right around the corner, so let's smash it. Anyways, let's summarize this and then jump right in. So basically it's up to RNG the route I'll be taking to become the champion. So we may start off in Kanto and then jump to Hoenn and so on and so forth. I'll essentially be stitching the playthrough together, commenting only the parts that are new. Imagine this thing on screen, right? Make sense? Alright, let's jump in. But first, this video is sponsored by the Ridge wallet. This wallet is light, sleek, and industrial. It's designed to easily fit into your front pocket and do away with those old, bulky wallets we're used to. I mean, look at mine. Stuffed full of old receipts, pictures of my ex, and gift cards in an unorganized mess. There's over 30 different colors and styles to choose from, and each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. So you buy one wallet and it's your wallet for life. They'll even let you test drive a wallet for 45 days, and if you don't like it, you can send it back for a full refund. Head on over to ridge.com/whoop and use code whoop to get 10% off your first order today with free shipping. So the 6 games I'll be playing through, I'll flash those up on screen. So first off, Luke gave me the number 4, so by using my handy dandy chart, we gotta start off in Violet City. So I boot up my copy of Pokemon Silver and crack on our adventure by naming our lad here Whoop. Picking Johto the first time around, smashing through the rival, and jumping on up to the Violet City. I tried to take on Falconer and skip this route tower, but I found out I had to go and do that anyway. So then my game crashed right as I walked into the tower and I had to start over. Yay! So yeah, then I fired up a new game, picked Chikorita this time and forgot to nickname it, and I saved in Mr. Pokemon's house this time. We headed back on up to Sprout Tower, and what do you know? My emulator froze again. So I went off in search of a new emulator, got it, and tried it again. 3rd time's the charm, right? So I start everything over again. I remember to nickname my Chikorita this time. Also, look at his little legs following me. I just noticed that, and that is adorable. I also just want to mention here that something about doing these playthroughs vanilla just didn't sit right with me. I feel like I can't ever do vanilla playthroughs because there's so many options and team combos that it gives me like some kind of weird anxiety. So anyways, for each gym, I essentially decided I get one new team member. And since I'll more than likely be jumping between regions, I'll have to be able to relate them in some way. So since I picked the grass starter here, obviously in the upcoming regions, I'll have to start with the grass one and so on. I hope this idea isn't coming off as too complicated, but we'll see. Anyways, it's time to take on Falconer. I knew since I had the grass starter, there wasn't much I could do against the flying type, so I ended up just poison powdering the Pidgeotto and heal stalling him from there until poison took him out. So yeah, that was a pretty easy one to cheese our way through. Now, thanks to my Discord, which there's a link to in the description, you should totally go down and join right now, we are going to be heading on over to Leaf Green. Of course, this story starts after taking down Brock. Our Bulbasaur actually ends up evolving into Ivysaur, so it's kind of fitting where it ended off. I fight my way through the route before Mount Moon. I contemplated buying this Magikarp as my new team member, but was swiftly shot down by Lotad, who demands that I instead get a Geodude, and in fear of making him angry for Pokemon Sapphire but my friends hate me, I decided he was right. I also grabbed Bullet Seed here, which, as it turns out, was very important. I explore Mount Moon like I normally would because there's always a chance I'll be back to Leaf Green, and rather than missing something important, it's just in future me's best interest to play semi-normally. Then I get to Cerulean, take on Misty ASAP, and end up destroying her with Bullet Seed. Gotta say, that's probably the best pickup I could have gotten. Moving on, we've got Gabe giving us the number 6, so let's see where that takes us. Oh boy, Platinum. So I've also decided here that I'm going to use the same nickname so you know which Pokemon it corresponds to. So I grab my grass starter and name it Boss to keep it going, you know. Grab my Geodude and decide that my next team member should probably be a flying type. So I grab a flying type as my encounter here, that being Starly of course, and name it Burb because my originality is unmatched. I definitely misplayed a bit in Sinnoh though because I totally forgot that Fantina was actually the 3rd gym leader in Platinum and not Maylene. So my whole purpose for getting the flying type was actually totally irrelevant here. When I actually got to Fantina, I was kind of just not prepared at all and it took a lot of tries, but in all honesty, I was too lazy to leave the gym and come back. And I'm also really stubborn, so I kept bashing my head into the wall. A metaphorical one, of course. Eventually, I was able to get the winning combo of items and take her down, but I was legitimately getting frustrated with that one, and I'm just glad it's over. We've still got quite a way to go though, so let's see where we're headed next. Alright. Hoenn it is then, eh? I grabbed Boss the Trico, Talo to fill for Starly, and since they're both early birds, it counts. I search tirelessly for a Geodude in the Granite Cave and then take down the Fat Man to start our gym off. I know with my Geodude, Flannery won't really stand a chance since I can kind of just magnitude everything off, which is pretty much how I handle everything up to that point. Graveler is just so strong and I never realized how much until now. I knock out a bit of the story since it's Hoenn and let's be honest, we don't care about the story around here. You've seen it 1,000 times. So I take down Maxie with Gravy, the world's strongest Graveler, and it's time to approach Flannery. But before I do that, I grab a Numble just so that it opens up a potential fire or ground type just in case I need it, but then it's actually time for Flannery. I tried to not just sweep with Magnitude, but considering Graveler was actually my only Pokemon left, it just had to be that way. It just wasn't hard, was it? Let's see where we're headed next. Oh, perfect. We're staying in Hoenn, so I can finally catch a break. At least this time, I don't have to play through an entire game again. Also, since it's Norman, this is going to be a pretty quick journey, I reckon. So I head towards Norman and do just that, and I get rocked in round 1 and sent all the way back to Lava Ridge because silly me didn't walk into the Pokemon Center. That being said, it's time for round 2. Actually, round 3. And we finally pick up the W. Alright, so 5 badges down, it's time to see where we're headed next. So back on over to Johto. Since we haven't been here since the first gym, we've got some catching up to do. On my list of things to knock out, I need to grab a Geodude, Pidgey, and a fire and or ground type. Also, as I'm typing this, I realized that I made a grave error in the last part and forgot to pick myself a new team member. So I'm not going to do that in this one, and I think I'm going to aim for a water type this time around. Let me get caught up before I actually do though. Alright, so I totally spaced on my way down to Cianwood, and I actually have to go back to Olivine, climb the lighthouse, go back to Cianwood, get the potion, and then go back to Olivine. What a mess. Now, as far as Jasmine is concerned, Earl put in some work against Steelix, but other than that, the Graveler just kind of magnituded everything, netting us our 6th badge. This video was a great idea in my head, and now that I'm executing it, I'm not so sure. Anyways, let's see where we're headed next. Oh boy, back on over to Platinum. Alright, let's get it. The last time we were in Platinum was the 3rd gym, so I play up from there. I went and caught my water type, which ended up being a Magikarp, and the mon I chose here for my capture was Bibarel, just because I really didn't want to bog my team down with HMs. Anyways, we pick up after Bryson, the lakes are all exploding, and nobody knows what the heck's going on, so I go check it out. I realize here that I can just surf around the other 2 Galactic members, so if you didn't know that, now you do, even though there's really no reason for it, but whatever. I then have to head up through the snow to get to Candace, just hoping we don't roll this for our next game and make me have to go through the distortion world or something. That would be a nightmare. I hate Porygon too. Then Then we make our way onto Candace. Burb is hard carrying here until Frostlass comes out and just blizzards my team to death. And then it's just a matter of Earl surviving until we eventually take her down, getting us our 7th badge. Anyways, for this one, I turned to my Discord again. The responses here were brilliant, as you can see. We have Ohio, 4, 3, 6, 76, and 4 again. So if we add all that up, we get 7. I'll maybe show my work on screen for that, but let's see where 7 points us. Wow, we really lucked out there and didn't get something like Unova or Galar. Anyways, let's boot up our copy of Leaf Green and play catch up. The cool thing about this though is from Blaine to Giovanni in these games is a pretty straight shot, so it's gonna be hard to mess that up. And it literally wasn't, it was just the easiest thing. I'm only rocking a team of 4 at this point because my coverages are pretty solid and it would have just wasted my time to add any members. So now all that's left to do is figure out the Elite 4. Yes, I've just been winging it this entire video, so it's only fair that I wing it some more. I've decided that I'm going to take on the Elite 4 for the sake of the video, and I actually had my friend Callum remote into my computer and take them down for me. What a legend he is, but yeah. I really just, this idea was great in my head. It was 100%, it was such a good idea. However, in practice, maybe not so much because I had to play through like 4 Pokemon games, and it wasn't fun. It stopped being fun around like the 5th gym. So if you want to try this, I recommend not. If you do, go ahead. Yeah, this was Pokemon, but I have no idea where I'm going. And yeah. All right. And an update on Pokemon Sapphire, but my friends hate me should be out within like a couple weeks. I don't know. Some difficulties popped up, but that's coming. Don't worry about it. It'll be here soon. Keep an eye out. It'll be the next video after this one. Yeah. All right. Cool. So I'll see you guys in the next one.
I won't worry, people. I want to always win and save everybody. I want to become the greatest.